Did you invite Clint?
No, man, I thought you were bringing it.
No, that sucker's at the studio.
So are you going to do the intro?
Yeah, we're gonna do the intro, dude.
Well, yeah, let's do the intro.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Dead. I think we got him.
Now let's go home. Good shooting, dude.
Oh yeah, man, you too. He's gonna be so mad he missed this.
Yeah, he's at the studio talking.
Yeah, talk. Yep. That's what he likes.
They left me. They went to the range, they shot the intro, they thought it would be funny, and they left me. So they brought the gun back, naturally, as you would expect, for me to talk about it here today. So, which, if it looks like a scar, that's because it is, but it's not one that we've seen before on the channel. It is something new from FN. This is the Scar 17S DMR. Now, we all know DMR stands for Designated Marksman Rifle. And so what makes this the DMR over, I don't know, the Scar 17, right? The basic Scar 17. Well, FN has made some subtle, maybe not too obvious changes, but one very obvious change is you've got the Scar 20S precision stock that, typically comes on the Scar 20 right back here. This is not side folding like the tactical UGG boot on the Scar 17, and it does have an adjustable length of pull and an adjustable comb height, which is a nice thing. So if you're running some magnified optics like this Leupold Mark V HD 2-10, which is one of my favorite optics that they took to the range without me. It's great. So that way you get that perfect eye relief and side alignment and everything that you want, all right? Cool. Something that's not too obvious is the muzzle device. Now, the Scar 17S, I've always given it crap about that 3-chamber FN dedicated or FN proprietary brake that just, it's loud, it's violent, it's everything that I've always said about it being concussive. It's a muzzle brake, so you typically expect that, but there's just something about that brake off of that gun that is just devastating to be next to or even the shooter when shooting. Typically, I have to double up my ear pro just so my ears aren't ringing. Well, they changed that up a little bit, so I'm curious. Well, I'm not too curious because I actually have shot this rifle, but I'm curious about what you guys are going to think when we eventually do a video comparing the rifles, the 3-pronged by FN versus the brakes. Now, something I noticed right off the bat is the 3-prong does a really good job at not being so concussive, but at one point you might find yourself actually appreciating the brake because it does keep it a little bit flat shooting. We'll save that information or save that those opinions for a video later on, all right? Now, something else that's not too noticeably different right off the bat is the trigger. This is the Super Scar trigger, which is in the Scar 20S, and is quite frankly one of my favorite triggers. It feels amazing. Everything about it is short and sweet. That includes the take up before you hit that very obvious wall, and then after a couple of pounds of further pressure, that drops. And then the reset, also short and sweet, coming up, just letting off ever so slightly before you get that nice audible tactile reset. It's beautiful. And something else that might not be too obvious is this is not chambered in 7.62 NATO. This is 6.5 Creedmoor. So you guys have been wanting the Scar 17S in 6.5. Now you've got it in the 17S DMR. Why they didn't make the 17S DMR 7.62 NATO, or why they haven't just made a 17S 6.5 yet, I'm not too sure. You know, I do believe that maybe this has the DMR title to it, quite frankly, because designated marksman rifles, you want to be more accurate, and the 6.5 Creedmoor versus the 7.62 NATO or 308 cartridge. Look, downrange, 1,000 yards plus, 6.5 Creedmoor is just going to stand out over 308. And for your DMR, if you want to be able to engage those targets at a little bit further distance than what your average soldier, marine, infantryman is equipped with, then yeah, you probably want that extra punch and you want that velocity and you just want that 6.5 Creedmoor cartridge. So it makes a lot of sense in my mind. Now with this rifle, the way we've got it set up is pretty basic, pretty simple. We wanted to ultimately go ahead and throw something on the forend because it needs it. Now, typically with a DMR, I wouldn't mind having a bipod or something like that, but one of the setbacks of the SCAR is you have that really short rail. When you take a look at the SCAR 20, one of the big differences is it has that really long rail, so that way you could throw on perhaps maybe a bipod a little bit further out, something like that, grips, lasers, IR, whatever you might need to go ahead and effectively engage your target no matter what the conditions are or time of day. So, makes sense. By the way, while I have this in my hand, I just want to go ahead and throw this out here. This rifle, unloaded, without any optics, the SCAR 20, is at about 11.6 pounds. The SCAR 17S comes in evenly, again, no optics, unloaded, at 8 pounds. This is, yeah, about right in the middle. This is actually about 9.5 pounds right in there. So not exactly the lightest gun in the world. And then once you throw in, you know, optics and whatever else, maybe that's why they keep the rail a little bit shorter, so, you know, you don't add too much weight. You'll find that, yeah, it'll start to tack on a little bit of extra weight, which if you're having to run around in the woods making intros or something like that, that can actually, you know, fatigue you a little bit. But this gun, the way we've got it set up with the Magpul vertical grip right out front, does feel very, very good. It's something that I like quite a bit. I don't typically broom handle it, as a lot of people say though, or get that kind of grip like this. Granted, I would if I had to, if I did have a bunch of other attachments on here for whatever the mission might dictate or whatever your use might be. But at the end of the day, I would prefer maybe an angled foregrip as I always have on the SCARs, but we wanted to change it up a little bit because we always throw an angled foregrip on the SCARs. So let us know what you think, because I'm sure this isn't going to be our only 17S DMR. If you wanted to see a little bit more on this rifle, what would that be? Would you like us to try to make our own DMR? I've been telling you guys for a while that, you know, I've been trying to build like the ultimate SCAR, and then we keep getting distracted and putting something else together or whatever else it might be. But we're working on it, all right?
Hold on, Clint. I'm gonna let you finish. I hate to cut you off like this, but I just felt we were forgetting something.
Exactly. Not only this bad boy, but also
The Otis cleaning kit.
Exactly.
I mean, a clean kit's important for every rifle, and this thing's gonna be dirty after ours. Get done with it.
exactly. We shot great, but it is a little dirty, so you're gonna need this. So anyways, what are you gonna say to Clint?
See you next time, man, and see you back in the video room.
So, if I'm being completely honest, I can go ahead and offer a couple of my opinions really quick about this rifle. Yeah, it's a little bit heavier, but at the end of the day, it's a DMR. It's not the battle rifle like the standard SCAR 17S is at 8 pounds, so I can forgive it for being a little bit heavier. The reasoning for not having a side folding stock is because of precision, or at least that's what's been told to me. They want something that's really stable, firm, that's gonna stay in place to make sure that you're never out of position. And then for those quick follow-up shots, you don't have to worry about the stock moving at all, you know, and so you can keep your head right where you want it to be, right? You always have that perfect cheek weld, perfect side alignment. Okay, all right, fine. But having a side folding stock on a piston driven gun is a nice feature for a couple of reasons. One, let's say you're the DMR, you're the designated marksman, but now you're also with your team and you're in a vehicle. It would be nice if you could just kind of fold that over to get it out of the way, you know, instead of having to ride. And then when you fall asleep, you initially, eventually bloody your nose because you fall asleep and hit your nose on the stock end of your gun. Anything like that. Paratrooping, same thing. Side folding stocks I could see as being a huge benefit. Now, granted, this is nitpicky stuff. I'm just saying if it's a, about a $4,000 to $5,000 gun, I would like to have a couple of these features, and I don't mind a side folding stock, all right? Especially for a piston-driven gun. I also wouldn't mind complete ambidextrous controls, which we are pretty close to here. You'll notice right up front, we do have the ambi non-reciprocating. non-reciprocating. Thank you, FN, for that finally. Charging handles. You've got kind of the one that's the primary charging handle on the left-hand side that's angled downward, so that way it clears any optics, which is very nice. Thank you for finally doing that, because I still have scars on my knuckles from where I have racked an original FN scar with the standard charging handle like this and having an EOTech on it, and that EOTech would just dig into your knuckle because look at how close where the charging handle rides to your actual optic. So thank you for angling that down. Thank you for making it non-reciprocating. Thank you for already being ambi out of the box. That's nice. You also have an ambi mag release. Traditional on the right-hand side, and then on the left-hand side right here, underneath the bolt catch / release, easy day. Safety. Also ambidextrous, great. The only thing that's not ambi on this gun technically would be the extraction, but also there's no bolt catch release on the right-hand side of the gun. And at this point, I pretty much just, especially for the price point, I feel like if you're gonna be offering some sort of rifle, an ambi bolt catch or release is very, very nice. Something like what you see on this LMT right here. See that? Bolt catch, bolt release. If I want to lock it to the rear, easy day. If I want to send it home, easy day. Like it's a really nice feature. Thank you, LMT, for bringing us the Mars lowers of way back when they pretty much kind of started that type of fun stuff. It'd be really nice if we carry some of their products, but they're hard to come by, and throwing that out there, LMT. Thank you for the Estonia reference rifle though, that's nice. Put that back on there straight, sorry Ryan. But let us know down in the comment section, how should we deck out that LMT R20 Estonia reference rifle if we were to feature it, But anyway, ambi controls would be nice. Other than that, this gun is pretty freaking nice. And who doesn't love 6.5 Creedmoor one more time? I'm done talking about it here. Let me know what you guys think. However, are you excited? Oh, one other nitpicky thing. It's like a $4,500 rifle, MSRP somewhere in there. And it still comes with an A2 grip. That's all I've got for you guys. As always, we appreciate you, your business, and your viewership. God bless you guys, and we'll see you next time at Classic Firearms.